Dear student, today we learn the Raoult's law. So, let's start. Raoult's law. Make heading. Raoult's law. So, Raoult's law belongs to the application of vapor pressure for volatile substances. So, Raoult's law expresses the vapor pressure exerted by the volatile substance mainly. Let's understand. I have mentioned you what is vapor pressure, what is the factors affecting vapor pressure. So, this law uses volatile substance producing vapors. So, Raoult's law tells us about the vapor pressure of volatile liquids. So, always remember what is the aim of Raoult's law. What is the aim of Raoult's law? Aim of Raoult's law is to express the vapor pressure. To express the vapor pressure of the vapors produced by the volatile substance. So, Raoult's law expresses two concepts. That means, mark that. What are the two concepts? So, we know solute and solvent produces solution. Solute and solvent produces solution. Solute and solvent produces solution if the solvent is volatile. Solvent is volatile and solute is also volatile. Solute is also volatile and the solution will be volatile solution. We can tell it as volatile solution containing volatile solute. Similarly, it is one case or the first case which will be used by Raoult's law, and the second section is non-volatile solute. Non-volatile solute when added to volatile solvent, then solution of non-volatile solute is produced. In this case, Raoult's law expresses the vapor pressure produced by volatile solute containing non-volatile solute containing solution and non-volatile solute containing solution. Two types of statements has been given by the Raoult's to express the vapor pressure produced by the solution. In this lecture, we will study upon the volatile solute, containing solution. So, make heading Raoult's law for volatile solute containing solution. Make heading Raoult's law for volatile solute containing solution. Raoult's law for volatile solute containing solution. You can tell it as is a binary solution. Why? Because the solution has two components. That's why the solution can be termed as a binary solution. So any solution which has two parts will be termed as a binary solution. So the two molecules, that means the solid molecules and the solvent molecules here are volatile in nature. So let's first write the statement, we will understand it with the proper diagram. So write the statement first. At a given temperature, because vapor pressure of any liquid is always calculated at a constant temperature. So I have told at a given temperature for a liquid or solution, for a solution at a given temperature, for a solution of volatile liquids, because why volatile liquids I am telling, the solute and the solvent both are volatile in nature. That's why I am telling at a given temperature for solution of volatile liquids, the partial pressure of each component, the partial pressure of each component or each part, each component is equal to the product of is equal to the product of what? Mole fraction of the component, present in the solution, mole fraction of the component, and the pressure or the partial pressure of the component in its pure form. Again, check that. What is the statement? At a given temperature is constant during study of vapor pressure. So at a given temperature for a solution of volatile liquids, the partial pressure of each component is equal to the product of mole fraction of the component and the partial pressure of the component in its pure form. So we will understand it with example or diagram. So I am just wiping this portion. You write it by pausing the video. Now I am wiping this portion. First draw two containers. Two containers and cover the container by filling the substance I am going to express before you. It is the volatile substance or volatile solvent, and it is also the volatile liquid. You can tell it is the liquid, and it is another type of liquid. It is one liquid which will be used as solvent, and this portion I am taking as solute and expressing the surface molecule like this to differentiate the surface molecule and solvent and solute. So just writing it as liquid A, I am just not writing it is a solvent, it is liquid A, or you can take it as a volatile liquid. It is a volatile liquid A, and it is a volatile liquid B. It is a volatile liquid A and volatile liquid B. So you know from the volatile term that this can readily vaporize at room temperature. That's why I am telling you this liquid has maximum vaporization power, because the vaporization power varies from liquid to liquid. That's why I am telling this liquid produces 4 number of vapors at room temperature. These are the leads. Leads doesn't allow the vapors to go outside. So these are the vapors, and I am telling, just mark, the liquid A or the volatile liquid A has maximum vaporization power, and liquid B, consider, just I am telling to consider, and liquid B has minimum vaporization power. So if one mark that the liquid A has maximum number of vapors due to maximum vaporization power, and liquid B has less number of vapors. So the pressure exerted by the vapors of liquid A and liquid B in its pure form is expressed by P naught B for liquid B and P naught A for liquid B. That means P naught A and P naught B are the partial pressures of the volatile liquid A and volatile liquid B at a constant temperature or at room temperature. So I have mentioned what is P naught A and P naught B. You should remember that and note it fast, because I will wipe this portion. So mark that these are the liquids and the vapors are like this. In this case, mark the vapor molecule number is less of liquid B than the liquid A. That's why consider that the pressure or the partial pressure of the liquid A will be greater than the partial pressure of liquid B. It is clear from the diagram. Mark that. I am just expressing that the partial pressure of liquid A at its pure form is greater than the partial pressure of liquid B because of the availability of the vapors on the surface. So you can clearly mark this relation from the diagram. So now we will prepare a solution. It is a solution containing container and just I am covering the container with the lid. Before that we will need to fill the solvent and solute. Now I will take it as a solvent and I will take it as a solute. I will take it as a solvent. Suppose it is a solvent I will use and I will use it as a solute. So what will happen? Solvent molecule, solute molecule, solvent molecule, solute molecule and solute molecules. In this manner, the solvent and solute molecules will occupy the surface position and this produced due to these substances produced due to why? Due to mixing of the volume of or some volume of the solvent with the solute or by mixing solute with the solvent and the solvent molecule and solute molecule are mixed with each other to produce a solution, and in this case some part of the solvent are taken in this container and some part of the solute is taken in this container. That's why the concentration term express the solvent and solute quantity is mole and some part of it is taken, that means mole fraction is taken, and the mole fraction of solvent is expressed by mole fraction has a symbol X and some part means mole fraction of A is taken, and here mole fraction of XA is present as solvent and mole fraction of solvent is expressed as XA and mole fraction of solute is expressed as XB here. So the XA and XB combination produces the solution of volatile. So it is the solution of volatile solute. So solution of volatile solute, and the pressures produced by the vapors of the volatile liquids is at a constant temperature, is equal to partial pressures exerted by the individual vapors is equal to the product of partial pressure of the vapors or the volatile vapors multiplied with its mole fraction. That means we can take it as the pressure or the total pressure is expressed as, or we can take it as, I am writing here the total pressure which is produced due to combination of partial pressures of the component, that means partial pressure of the solvent A and partial pressure of the solute B, and if you will take the total pressure as capital P, so you can write it as capital P, which is the total pressure, is the sum of partial pressures of the solvent and solutes at a given temperature. So how to calculate the partial pressure of the solvent in solution and partial pressure of solute in solution? We have learnt that in the Raoult's law statement, that means the partial pressure of a solvent or solution at a constant temperature, the partial pressure of a solvent or solution is equal to the product of mole fraction of the component with its partial pressure in pure form. That means mole fraction is here XA and the product with the pure partial pressure, product of the partial pressure with mole fraction gives the value for the partial pressure of the volatile solvent here, and you can take it as equation number 1, and similarly for volatile solute, you can take it as Pb, and Pb will be product of P naught B and Xb. So P naught B and Xb, it is the equation 2, and using this concept in equation, or you can take it as equation 2, equation 3 and take it as equation 1. So using the Pa and Pb value in equation 1, what we will get? We will get that I will derive this portion in this part. So I am just writing here what P naught A is greater than P naught B here, the first part. And now using this value of equation 2 and 3, write that using the value of equation 2 and 3 in equation 1, what we will get? So P equal to Pa plus of Pb, that means P naught A into Xa plus of P naught B into Xb at constant temperature. We have used these values of equation 2 and 3 in equation 1. So you know that the addition of mole fraction value of solvent and solution, that means the mole fraction value of solvent and solution is always equal to 1, and using this value in the Xb section, that means Xb equal to 1 minus of Xa. Using this portion in this part, means Xb section, use this portion or make it as equation 4. You can take equation 4, just also you can take it as equation 4, or you can directly use. That means I am using P naught A into Xa plus of P naught B, and Xb is replaced by 1 minus of Xa, and here P naught A into Xa plus of P naught B minus of P naught B into Xa, and in this case this portion and this portion has the common term, that is Xa. So you can write here P naught B first and taking common, that means plus of Xa, and mark that Xa here 1 minus of, you can mark here Xa is present and here Xa is present. So Pa, so mark that here X and Xa. So P naught A minus of P naught B, and the value will be, mark that, I'm just typing this portion, total pressure, you have the equation. So you mark that this equation gives us the data about the total pressure produced by the volatile solute containing solution. So here you know that P naught A is greater value or larger value, P naught A is greater value, that's why it is a maximum value than P naught B. So the value will be positive, not negative, because pressure is always a positive term, and the P naught A minus of P naught B will give a positive value result, and it is the final equation, or equation number you can tell it as equation number 4, or if you will put here 4, it will be 5. So it is the total pressure which will be calculated by using the Raoult's law. For volatile solute containing solution, we will use this formula in problems in coming lecture. You can use this formula to solve different problems. We will use this part in the coming lecture. If you like the video, share the video with your friends. Thank you.